Hey guys, you're on the scene here with Peterson's Breaking of Trenton at the Trenton Communications Division. We're going to be here speaking with Chief Acosta. She's going to give us some background on her title here and how long she's been here for Hispanic Heritage Month. Chief, tell us a little bit about yourself.
You could close the door. My name is Chief Grace Cruz-Acosta. I've been here for almost 30 years, and I'm so honored to have been able to work for the City of Trenton as their Chief in Communications at the Trenton Police Department. I started as a dispatcher, went into being a senior, a supervisor, and now a chief. Working here has given me great strengths and appreciation of our city, our citizens, and the service we provide. Certainly 911 is such a big part of public safety. Overall, I think when we look at the city in itself and how it's growing, we have to recognize the importance of keeping our technology updated and current. I grew up here. I was born in Paterson, New Jersey. Came here when I was 6. I am one of 9. I have 9 siblings who I'm very inspired by. I'm the 3rd youngest. My father came from Puerto Rico in 1953 and raised us here. Hard worker, carpenter. My mother came from Costa Rica in 1963, and they've been here since. We've traveled back to the lands of Puerto Rico and Costa Rica, but we remained here. I believe that the National Hispanic Heritage Month is such an important month, not only because I'm Hispanic, but because it brings into history our contributions. And that's important. And that's important for the little ones, the ones that are looking up to us, that we can teach them that all is possible. I'm very appreciative and thankful to God, my family, and I love who I've been given the opportunity to be, and that's the Chief of the Trenton Police Communication Department. I'm honored, and I'm thankful.
Chief, can you tell us about your work environment here?
Yes. Our work environment is a lot of multitasking. Dispatchers here dispatch fire department currently, police department. We transfer the ambulance calls to the county. In doing that, we do a lot of the NCIC work. We do administrative calls, which is the normal parking, dog barking, noise complaints, civil matters. Most of all, we protect our citizens through those calls, whether it be for the fire department, for the police, or for the ambulance. I think our equipment here has been difficult to work with, and I think the city is working very hard to change that, update it, and make it better. Once again, this is public safety, so I think for all of us, it would be the best thing. It's overdue, and I know that it's being put on the table and hopefully move forward. It's something that will save the city citizens from a lot of concern, and will save the city a lot of liability. I think it's important that we move as quick as possible.
So being also the first Hispanic to hold the highest title in the division here, you face also challenges as well. How do you overcome those challenges?
I do. I overcome with experience. experience has taught me to look at all angles, take in consideration everything, and know what's worked for me and what's worked for the future when it comes to call taking, managing people, understanding, compassion. It plays a big role of a lot of things because we do multitask. So the job here is a lot. When I mean a lot means you have to think quick, speak quick, act quick, and be consistent. And do that over and over and over again through different calls and situations. So it takes really special people to be dispatchers because our crime is high and the calls we deal with can be very stressful. And we have to take all that into consideration when you're organizing and keeping an organization organized. And I do that daily. And I think that's where I get my power from, because I use my compassion first to understand and then to keep everything in order.
Lastly, when did you start the communications?
1992. April 1st, 1992. So my retirement is coming soon.
Wow, that is it's crazy. You feel like you just started. Do you feel like you just started like last year?
I do feel that way, and I feel that way because recently I've sat on the floor and answered calls from a chief to a dispatcher. There is a lot, but it brought me back to the very first time, and it was almost like the same. The compassion is there, the information that I take, the citizens that I hear, their concerns being met, providing that service. It gave me so much gratitude, so much of who I am and what I can provide and give to them is where I come from. That environment that I spoke about earlier, what my parents gave me. Growing up in the city of Trenton wasn't easy, but I did have that village of love from my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters that came through those calls and those citizens that needed me, and I could still do that now. We were working short. We've been going through a lot of this pandemic situation, so staffing has been difficult, and me being put back on the floor was okay just because I knew that connection will never leave me. It's something I carry with me. I love my city. I love the service we provide, and it's been nothing but a blessing.
Thank you. This is Chief Grace Acosta. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm just going to give you a short tour of communications. This is the police side, fire side, call taking, senior, supervisor, and our teletype section.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you?